welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you. I appreciate it, you guys. So, I don't even know how to start these readings because there's just been so much energy. You guys know I've been taking a break. I did a collective message, and that's about all I could muster up at the time. I've been, of course, like a lot of people, getting pulled into a lot of collective energy. We are all connected, you guys, so it's no surprise that we're all feeling all sorts of ways about everything that's going on in the world and the universe right now. I'm going to do a reading for Aries, and we're going to see what's happening right now. Aries, in the sign of Aries right now, we got a lot going on too. We got Saturn there, we got Neptune there. So find out where that's at in your chart, which place it's affecting, which house it's affecting. If you're an Aries rising, it's affecting you. If you're a Taurus rising, it's in your 12th house. If you're a Gemini rising, it's in your 11th house. If you're a Cancer rising, it's in your 10th house. If you are a Leo, then it's going to be in your 9th house. If you're a Virgo rising, it's going to be in your 8th house. That's where the Aries energy will be. If you're a Libra rising, it will be in your 7th house. If you're a Scorpio rising, it will be in your 6th house. If you're a Sagittarius rising, it will be in your 5th house. If you're a Capricorn rising, it will be in your 4th house of home, family, the root of the chart, Cancer area of the chart. We are in Cancer season, Cancer sun, it's Cancer sun time. Jupiter's also in Cancer, and Uranus is getting ready to go into Gemini. So yeah, we got a lot of shifts and changes. Oh, and I think I missed one here. No, yeah, if you're Capricorn, it's going to be in your 4th house. And if you're an Aquarius, it's going to be in your 3rd house. And if you're a Pisces, it's going to be in your 2nd house. Yes. Okay, you guys. So, and you can always just Google that if you want. I've said a little bit about it, and I am going to try to explain more about this as we go. I'm going to be working, I've said it, I'm working on learning and incorporating, integrating. I do believe and have always believed that the astrology plays a part in the energies that we collectively see and we collectively experience, including what comes out in front of us in these cards. Energies, we all pick up on those energies. Some of us are a little maybe more sensitive to it. Some of us don't block it out as much. Some of us don't ignore it as much, but it's always there. It's constantly there. Energy is constantly there, and it's constantly affecting us as living organisms of this planet, of this universe. Some energies can be more subtle than others, but so I'm going to start with these readings. I'm going to start just by pulling a few astrology cards here. We're going to see kind of Aries, like which energies, Aries energy is what's affecting it the most here. The moon right now, house 8. So this could have to do if you are a, for instance, this is interesting. And well, we got Taurus and Aries came out. Now let's get another card on the moon. And how is this moon related to this 8th house? So we know that the 8th house, as I was just saying, if you are a Virgo rising, Aries is in your 8th house. The Neptune and Saturn energy is going through your 8th house right now. The moon right now, I believe we're getting into Libra, a Libra moon. We just had a Cancer full moon. It is Cancer season. Cancer rules. The moon is Cancer's planet. So it could have something to do with the season here, but paying attention to our emotions, our intuition, our sensitivity, but especially our needs emotionally, nurturing ourselves, taking care of ourselves. 8th house is about that. It's very karmic house. It's about transformation. It's about the deep stuff, you know. I am a Virgo rising, so I have Neptune and Saturn going through my 8th house as an example. And by nature, I always want to dig in the deep stuff. That's where my Mars is. So the 8th house for me is in Aries. So, if that makes sense, because your chart, your natal chart, your 8th house, it will be in one of those signs that I just said. I don't want to make this confusing. I know I'm probably making this confusing, but So me as a Virgo rising, Aries is in my 8th house. Always has been since the day I was born. And that's where that Aries energy would be applied. Wherever the Aries is in your chart is where that energy will be applied. Aries is a independent, brave, passionate. It can be aggressive. It can be very assertive. It can be very warrior-like. And I have all that energy, the Aries energy, in my 8th house, just by nature. I don't have any planets or anything in my 8th house, but when planets are going through there, my Aries energy is more activated and transmuted, and all the stuff that all these planets are doing in that house, it's affecting me in my 8th house. Now, the 8th house, like I said, is that it's karmic. It's facing fears. It's transformations, legacies. Also, it rules taboos, and, you know, I've always been kind of the one that has those conversations that nobody else really, I want to get into the deep stuff. I want to get into the deep, nitty-gritty kind of dark stuff with people, and Pluto is one of the rulers of Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the 8th territory. So it explains a lot why I am always digging in the deep, deep, deep things about people and all the taboos, and I really, I kind of, my belief system, my thought process kind of goes against a lot of traditional beliefs and stuff, because it is about transforming like deeper rooted things and transforming like taboos into normal human experience, or, you know, I work a lot with that kind of energy, so that makes a lot of sense. Also, the Taurus and Aries card came out. This is, we know that Taurus right now is at the very end. Uranus is at the very end of Taurus right now, and it's getting ready to enter the Gemini. Aries, this is your guys' card. This is who we're talking about. Aries is that independent, brave, passionate, aggressive, assertive, focused, warrior-like energy. So that kind of energy really applying to the 8th house, and emotional stuff too, because we're talking about the moon here. So let's get another card on the moon. I wanted to start out with some astrology cards, you guys, just to house 3. So the house 3. So if you know your chart, and I hope you guys do know your chart. If you don't, you can go to Cafe Astrology. You can find your chart. You can find out exactly which houses you're in. And I'm going to try and make this kind of simple for you guys. But look at house 3. Look at what's in house 3. Like my 3rd house is, because I'm a Virgo rising, which is always the 1st house, which Aries rules that territory. So it's kind of like, you know, I've been reading a lot. I read a lot of astrology, but some of the best ways I've found, well, just the other day, what's his name? One of the astrologers I watch, oh my goodness. He explained it, oh my gosh, what is his name? I'm having a brain fart, you guys. But he explained it like the planet is, so as a planet goes through a house or hits a sign, it's like the planet itself is the energy. And the sign it's in is like the costume, okay? And the place it's in is where it's happening. He didn't say that, but also I believe it's, is it Ren Butler? I can't remember who wrote that book, Archetypal Universe. I think he might have been the one to, but it's also explained as the planets being what is happening, the energy that's happening, the signs being how it's happening. So the way it takes action. So the what, the how, and the where. So the planet being the what is happening. So we know right now Neptune is about no boundaries, unconditional love, also fantasy, visionary. I feel a lot. Neptune is like visionary energy. We know that is what is happening. It's in the sign of Aries. So that's how it's happening. So it's happening quite passionately, quite individually, quite bravely, you know, standing up for our visions and what we dream for ourselves, or our lives, our community. That's very like warrior-like energy. It's coming through very warrior-like, but this is what's interesting because we got Saturn right there too. And Saturn is about order, and it's also very traditional energy. It's about time. It is about boundaries, where Neptune is about limitless. It's limitless. It has no limits. Where Saturn has limits, and it has structure. And Neptune has no structure. So we have this no structure and the structure all working in the sign of Aries at the same time. So if you're finding in your conversations, in your day-to-day interactions, that you feel like you're in a completely different book than everybody else, or you're on a different different library, you're in a different library than everybody else, chances are they have a stronger signature of the Saturn or Neptune, and you have like, it's almost like opposite. So it's really interesting, the energies we're dealing with right now. It's very kind of opposite feeling in that Aries energy, and that's our warrior energy. That's our independence, our standing up for whatever we believe in. It's just kind of crazy because some people are like, hey, we don't want no more boundaries, we don't want no more limits, we don't want more restrictions, we want to dream up a world that's oneness and love and connection. And then there's this other energy, and we have all these energies, you guys. Just if you have a lot of strong aspects and stuff with like Neptune, I, for instance, am more of a Neptunian person. For one, my moon is in Pisces. Neptune is Pisces planet, and it rules the 12th. Pisces territory is the 12th house of like the unconscious and the all that. So it's very like it's very interesting to feel these energies coming together and observe them. I've had to do a lot of just kind of sitting back and observing the energies that I'm interacting with, including people I've known forever, I love, I'm close to. We're just on different pages. Like, and I am not seeing like and also Saturn, is serious, and also I have a couple of very serious Saturn aspects in my chart that make me very serious. When I'm serious about something, I'm serious about it, and I can't get you into trouble to be like so rigid or so serious you don't have any bend for anything outside of this structure or this rule or this belief. So that being said, I don't need to gab a lot. I just wanted to get that out there, kind of explain to you like why this Aries energy right now is so powerful and so important right now. This energy right now is the biggest energy, I think. And personally, I mean, yes, Uranus getting ready to go into Gemini, I think on the 7th of July, but it's just, this is big stuff. Saturn and Neptune in Aries, this is big, definitive, divisive, or it could really work. It could really bring something together here. It really depends on where everybody is situated energetically with things, and we really want to remind people right now to stay situated in your heart right now, and not to get wrapped up in stuff that's maybe or maybe not true, or things that just don't feel. My best advice is, if it don't feel good in your heart, it's probably not right. And I don't care if the law says it's all right. I don't care if 100 people around you, 1,000 people around you say it's all right. It's not all right. If it don't feel all right, it's not all right. Stay with that energy. Even if your all right differs from somebody else's all right. It's all right to be okay and stand in your energy and not let others influence or change that. And it's okay not to do that on others either. We can debate, we can have healthy discussion and debate about, and I find healthy debate or healthy discussion and bouncing ideas and perceptions off of each other, collaborating with others on our thought process and like where we're coming from, can be very helpful in a non-toxic. But once it's reached toxicity, or nobody's just, and a lot of people right now are not budging. There's a stubbornness to this energy also. I know I'm standing where I stand, and it's really hard to you can't change somebody's feelings, but some people aren't listening to their feelings either. Their heart might be saying that's just kind of doesn't feel right, but their head's going, well, it's right, it's got to be right because it's the law, or it's because this person says it's okay. I just want people to know, feel this right now, feel this, even though it's really a tough excuse me, it's a time when we might be afraid. There might be fear of speaking your truth or standing up for what you feel. There might be a lot of feelings of wanting to escape or ignore or not feel what is happening right now in the world. I normally don't pay attention to politics, don't get into any of this stuff, and that's all I've been doing for 2 months. I was drawn in by my guides to start paying attention. It started way back. I started reading a whole bunch of books about like celebrities that have fought addiction, stuff like that, looking at more of the human side of us, just the human tendency and the human absoluteness of not being perfect. And then we get into politics, and then I'm pulled into this, and I just want to just rage, and then I have to remind myself that everybody's human. These politicians are human. It doesn't mean people don't have wounds that they haven't healed, and that is playing out. It's unconsciously ruling every action they're taking, or every decision they're making, or every judgment they're spewing out of their mouth. But I still have to remember we're all human, and I still have to keep that in my heart. And I am human, so it's very hard sometimes for me to remember, and I mean by truly feeling that in my heart. You know, we've all messed up. Maybe not all of us have, you know, and it's really, really hard when people in positions of power, or really huge, impactful positions in the world, just don't seem healed or in touch with their feelings. But that's just not, it's not us, it's not for us to judge. I believe and I have faith in God's process, and the process that works through us all as spirits and soul, the spiritual energy that works through us all in our soul and connects us to our higher nature, our source. So I just have faith in that process, and it's really hard to do, you guys, right now. So if you are struggling with that, just know you're not alone, for one. Two, allow the process. Do stand up for what you believe in, but do it with that understanding, that human understanding, that I think a lot of people, when we get drawn into really intense energies like this, can get really not mindful about the human process of evolution and how we're growing and how we're evolving, and it takes time, and one of the biggest things is not falling into old patterns and behaviors and old collective ways of acting or being towards certain people or certain groups or certain whatever. So now that rant's over, sorry guys, this is why I haven't been doing a reading, because I just have a lot to say about, I have a lot of feeling that I want to say about everything. But let's see here, we also got Jupiter, so it did come in under the moon. So this could be, and Jupiter right now is in Cancer, and I was feeling the moon card was referring to Cancer, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself right now, Aries, and maybe even adding to or expanding on your daily routines, your daily care for yourself, or doing, maybe learning some more, maybe taking some, learning some new techniques, or learning some more, coping skills, or whatever it is that helps you feel emotionally grounded and stable and taken care of in yourself. Okay, so that's that Jupiter energy. It's about expanding and growing. So Jupiter is there to grow and expand. So if you are going through some deep, heavy, transformational or karmic things right now, because we do have that house 8 here, and it just feels maybe scary, or it feels like just deep, like you don't want to deal with it, because it's just, but it's for your own growth and expansion. And once things start to roll here, and we have started to roll with this Aries energy and Neptune and Saturn, so it's just going to get even more. And depending on if you have planets there also, I mean, they could be sitting right on your, like, you could be having aspects right now with this Aries energy, your sun or your rising, your ascendant, with Jupiter, with the moon. So do check into that. Let's see about this house 8, see if we can get a little more specific. We do got Cancer. Okay, so this is about nurture, comfort, and protection. So also, this is also telling me that there could be this need to care for yourself and care for your emotional needs, and maybe even go a little deeper and focus a little more on taking care of those deeper emotional needs to transform something or let something go, or maybe stop fearing something in your life here is it's very much so needed right now. Need that Cancer energy for this kind of death and rebirth to happen for you, Aries. A lot of water energy is needed here for you guys. This Cancer energy is coming through very, very, you guys are learning right now to feel stuff and go deeper into feelings. Aries by nature is just an active energy, and it really just wants to get stuff done. I don't think one of the kind of could be downfalls of Aries is it sometimes doesn't think about, it just knows how to work, it knows how to get stuff done, it knows how to get people riled up, it knows how to get people excited, but it doesn't necessarily always thoroughly think out the whole picture or the whole plan, or it doesn't go deep into the roots of why they're so passionate about this, or why they're aggressively acting on something or determined to get something done. Sometimes it helps, it just does, and not sometimes, always it helps to go deeper into that 8th house and find out what kind of deeper things are we connected to by karma, or by maybe past lives, maybe this life, maybe some deep things that we're committed to. Maybe this energy is asking you to rethink your commitments here, rethink what you are attached to or what you're nurturing, because also Cancer is about nurturing. So there's something here, you know, there's stuff that needs nurtured, and there's stuff that maybe you've been in a cycle of nurturing or taking care of that's not actually what you need. Or maybe there's a switch happening here, a transformation on, oh wow, I used to really pay attention to this or nurture this or put my energy into this, and now I find myself putting my energy more into this. I know I've been going through a lot of those changes. For this time being, I feel like it's important that I am putting energy into things I never would have wanted to put my energy into, because there's deeper issues and deeper conversations here that I need to have, not only with myself but also with others. And I need to have that that I'm also a Cancer sun, so I need to have that expanded growth in what I'm showing people, how I'm expressing myself, and what makes me feel safe, secure, and seen. So that is a real energy with this reading, you guys. Okay, we got the house 6 with the Taurus. This is interesting. So if you are dealing with any health issues right now, or any like work issues, service issues, pet issues. I know Pluto has entered my 6th house. And ever since it's entered my 6th house, I mean, I think I said this in the collective, or maybe before that, but had to put asleep 2 pets, 2 loved pets. It's been pretty rough there. But taking care of yourself, taking care of your health, and your daily life, your daily routines. If there's something here that you want to, if there's something happening here where it's like something's changing in your health or your daily life, your daily routine, maybe you have lost a pet, maybe you are wanting to make some changes in your daily habits, daily routines, quit smoking, quit drinking, quit eating, whatever those changes are, these would be daily habits. Going for a walk every day, making a routine out of something. Virgo rules the 6th territory. It's about routine. It's about making something better. You know, Virgo always wants to make things better, improve upon things. So there's something here, whoever, if this is resonating with you, you may be trying to improve. It could be even, like I said, your health and your daily life, but it could have something to do with, it's definitely physical because Taurus is here. So it's something to do with your body, your mind, and it, maybe your work's stressing you out. Maybe you're thinking about switching jobs, or you're thinking about volunteering on a daily basis with some kind of foundation or something. But you're trying to rebuild something, restructure something, make something better here in your day-to-day, adding to it or expanding on it. And it could be something that feels very much so like it can nurture you also with all this Cancer energy, and also just paying attention to the details of what, and knowing, oh, this is why, you know, and maybe going deeper into like why this job or this habit is not serving you, and it is not making you grow or expand or making you feel healthier or more grounded in your Aries energy. We do got that Pluto coming out with this Aries, so this is about transformation. So right now the Aries energy is going through huge transformations, huge changes, huge. We got Pluto, we got the 8th house. 8th house, usually ruled by the territory, is Scorpios. One of Scorpio's planets is Mars and Pluto. Let's see, if you're an Aries sun, I can't tell you where your Pluto is, but if you are an Aries rising, your Pluto is in the 11th house right now. 11th house is that tribe, that community, coming together with people, collaborating with others, trying to help the greater whole. So you guys could be actually, I was kind of talking about this, but you guys could actually be quite feeling quite involved, or quite, I think we all are feeling attached and involved with this energy that's happening here, especially in the U.S., everywhere. It's happening everywhere, so it doesn't really matter where you're coming from. We're all going through some really huge Aries energy. So I was kind of excited to do this. There's a big transformations happening here, and it's going to require us personally, individually, because Aries rules individuality too, and ourself, to stand in our own and take care of ourselves and nurture our truth and our heart and our feelings about, and it might require that we make some tweaks to our day-to-day, you know, maybe not watching that news program or putting that thing in our mouth, or drinking that drink when we are sick of that or this, you know. There's a lot of things here, you know, investing in something here that's quite transformative. We are going to go ahead and get some tarot real quick on this. Let's see, the moon and Jupiter, expanding, growing. nurturing ourselves, maybe spreading and growing into the community, nurturing others. Oh, the Ace of Cups. So right here we have a beginning of some kind of endeavor or some kind of emotional investment here. This could be you are or have already began investing your emotional energy and you're into something bigger than yourself, or investing more into yourself to expand your well-being or your depth, your emotional depth, or your emotional connection to everything around you. Ace of Cups, this could just even be, this could be getting in a relationship, this could be getting in a multiple, because it's Jupiter here, it's about growing and expanding. So whatever's happening here that you are getting into or beginning, if this is resonating with you, is helping to grow and expand you, Aries, or whoever this is resonating with. And it's helping to emotionally satisfy you and nurture you, and maybe others also at the same time, or this could be doing this for others. But I love that energy for the beginning of your guys' reading, the Ace of Cups. That is really good. It's a new emotional beginning. It's a new understanding. It's a very, very watery card. And then we got the High Priestess, yes, under the Cancer and the 8th house. So there is something here definitely you feeling, you know there's some kind of deeper transformation or karma being released from your life right now, or something happening in your life right now that's actually helping to protect you, comfort you, nurture you. But it could involve facing some fears, or it could feel a little scary, but on a deeper level, in a deeper way, that this is something that is absolutely karmic, or just needs to happen in order for you to feel more, I would say even like connected, close, and comforted. There's something here big happening, big change, something new you're either investing in, or maybe somebody's investing in you. Maybe there's a mutual exchange of emotional and deep, like, because the water is not just emotional, but it does have the moon in it. This Ace of Cups has that full moon in it. It's under the full moon, the moon. We do have a full moon in Cancer coming up at the end of the month, I believe the end of July, you guys. So something big here happening at the end of the month for whoever this is resonating with. Maybe a new emotional beginning, a new fresh, maybe there's some purging going on right now with this 8th house, deep purging, deep transformation, deep karmic things about like some of the things you've been afraid of, or fears you had to face that you're like, why am I, like, you're going deeper into like, why am I afraid of that, or why am I, and realizing, oh, this has been like a pattern I've carried with me, or something I've been committed to my whole existence that I no longer want to be committed to. There's something here. This is the High Priestess. So it's a feeling, it's a nudge, it's more than a feeling, it's a knowing. It's your connection to your highest self, going, wait, you know this is right, you know what's going on here, deep down there's something big here transforming for you, Aries, or whoever this is resonating with. If you're just watching this for the Aries part of your chart, there's something in that part of your chart that needs to be transformed. Also in that 8th house, it rules your, like I said, it's Scorpio's territory. We also got Pluto here. It's about transforming deep beliefs, deep commitments. Could be just things we believed forever. It can revolve around sexuality. It can revolve around what you're investing in, or who's investing in you, because it's like mutual commitment, mutual investment. So there is something here definitely could be really being transformed here, or completely being removed. And you may have some fears about it, or you may have some doubts, but deep, if you really ask yourself, now you don't even ask yourself, you just know you really just have to acknowledge the feeling you already have, that this is kind of what's happening. So if you have any like questions or doubts and you're going, I don't know if this is what's happening, you do know what's happening. There's something big here transforming on a deeper level, and it has to do, and it could have to do with even family, or a committed relationship you're in, with the Cancer and the 8th house. That can be our committed, deep commitments. But it doesn't just have to be relationships, you guys. It's like things you've been committed to, a belief system, a idea, maybe, there's just something here it feels you're going really deep with here, whoever this is resonating with. Now with this Taurus and this house 6, this is something very physical here, also, and establishing kind of a new foundation here, maybe in a work. I am feeling this could have to do with work or daily life, like your habits, your health, maybe some kind of volunteering or something you're getting into. It could have to do with offering your energy to a group or a situation or something that you feel quite good about, and it helps you feel like, hey, this is I feel good about this, and I'm helping others grow and feel good about this. They're helping me, I'm helping them, and turning this into more of a daily routine or a daily habit. 6 of Cups. Oh wow, we got house 6 with the 6 of Cups and Taurus. This is something very good. There's also a feeling here. Interesting. Okay, I just want to point out real quick that the Taurus card has this image, right, of this half bone, half old, deep, and half outer heart with these roses growing out of it. And it's just interesting because then we got this house 6 and it has the same image but with this wing. So there is something here, I feel like, growing here, changing in your day-to-day routines. It could be your it could be something that you've actually already done in the past. It could be even like a move back to somewhere that's home or like home or nostalgic. I also am feeling like honoring, this is what's coming through, is like there's like a boundary or because of this wall, it's like honoring some kind of boundary or some kind of limit that you've set for yourself or in your life is going to help you change some things and establish some boundaries. You know, I am feeling boundaries with this Taurus, and it's really like physical boundaries. So setting some kind of boundaries with yourself or others day to day, every day, day in and day out, is really going to grow some things here. It's going to help you. It's going to help your garden be protected and nurtured. And yeah, you may have been investing or putting a lot of energy into something for a very long time that was karmic, or something you felt strongly about that's just changing, and there's a bigger reason why it's changing, and it's because it's time for you personally, individually. Something here is happening for you. It's not for others necessarily right now. Not that it won't help others. It just this energy is really working on that individual energy and that individual like individualism, individual power, individual, like what we have from just us that we can that's special from us that we have to give to the world or ourselves or our situations. What's special about me? And have I been putting my gifts or my power or my energy or my focus or my passion into something that's just, maybe I did feel strongly about it, but I'm feeling that shift now. I'm feeling like I don't feel strongly about that now, and I'm investing in something different here, and it's going to require that I put up some walls or some boundaries with others to keep myself in my sovereignty and my space, to give myself peace. And that's Taurus also. It's this very simple, it's a simple boundary, simple rule, or a simple change that's possibly happening here for the Aries that resonates with this reading. Here's the Aries Pluto. This is a huge transformation happening in the sign of Aries right now. 3 of Cups. This is definitely about who you have been surrounding yourself with, your commitments, previous commitments that could be changing, previous friend groups that are changing. And I was feeling with the 6 of Cups that you could be going back to something you've already previously done as maybe a daily routine. Maybe it's something you're maybe moving back to your childhood city, or reconnecting with somebody from the past. 3 of Cups can also be a reconciliation, which means something here is transforming. And I feel like it has to do with a close group or a close friendship. There's been some transformation. There's a lot of passion, and maybe with this Pluto, it could go either way, you guys. So you could be reconnecting, reconciling with maybe some people you've fell out with, or just haven't seen eye to eye with, because things needed to change, right? Or this is, you've already been connected to a group that feels like, hey, this is my group of people, but then something's changing and it's not feeling like your group of people, or it's not feeling, I'm feeling like there's a breaking away of something here that you've been doing for a while, or something you've been invested with for a while, and it's something you would do pretty regularly, but it's almost like it's affected your well-being, your emotional well-being, maybe your health, and now it's time to put up some boundaries, put up some walls, and this is going to help. And now this may not scare away the people in your life, but there may need to be a transformation or happening between the dynamics in your relationships right now, Aries. There's possibly something here that there's a dynamic needing to change, because there's been a karmic dynamic for a long time, and something needs changing, something is changing, and the universe is helping this. The energies of the universe is all working to help this. It's working for and with us, guys. So we really have to, it really helps to be more aware of what's happening. That way we can kind of not only be grateful for even some of the things that are like, wait a minute, I don't know if I want this gone. Yes, you deeply do want something gone. You want some kind of fear removed. You want some kind of closure to some kind of karmic nurturing of a situation or a person in your life, maybe, that you've been, or they've been nurturing you, and now you don't no longer have that person, but it's so that you can be more independent, and so you can transform something within your relationships. There's a big transformation going on here for you, Aries. So let's go ahead and get a chakra card real quick. We got compassion. So compassion needed right now. This is the heart chakra, needing to have that open. And there is some money. I was kind of feeling that with the Taurus card here. Maybe a change in finances, or a change in like where maybe you're moving and going to be paying less rent, or you're looking for more affordable things because it's taken a toll. But there's this gentleness that you need to have right now with yourself and those around you, as you are going through a huge transformation. And I feel like there's a lot here happening in your heart chakra. You could be really finding that time to kind of give yourself self-love and nurture parts of you that were deeper, that you maybe haven't been paying attention to because you've been focused on the outer. I feel like there is some inner stuff going on that's going to help change the dynamics and the day-to-day habits and situations in your life right now. So let's go ahead and get an animal spirit card real quick for you guys. Whoa. The badger spirit. I like that. This is be fearless and bold. There's definitely something here you're going to have to put up a boundary or a wall or some kind of structure around. Maybe, this is fine-tuning your day-to-day activities. And we also got on the bottom, take time out. Take time away from something, or pull yourself away from something that you've been putting yourself into, putting your energy into, to take that extra time to care for yourself. And maybe if you've been really in like a debate, because that was kind of a message I was getting at the beginning, if you've been going back and forth with people or something, pull yourself away from that also, to show them compassion also. But still remain fearless about where you're going, where you stand, and bold about your words. It doesn't mean we have to be mean or hateful, but very protective over ourselves and our authenticity, what we align with. And if you are aligned with your soul, or the bigger picture, or hey, this isn't my plan, but I'm definitely a part of that plan. If you know that, it's the time to be fearless and bold and stand in for yourself and for others, and put up those boundaries or those walls with those people or routines or works situations or whatever that are not helping grow you. If this is leaving something from the past behind, it has been karmic. It has been maybe something that was meant to grow you in some way, transform you in some way. You're moving on from that. Maybe an old group, maybe an old, and finding something new here. There's something new here that's growing here, trying to grow, trying to expand, and it's a deeper connection and a deeper intimacy, and maybe a new tribe, a new friendship group, something like that happening here. A lot of shifts and changes, you guys. So interesting. All right, let's get one of these shaman's oracles, shaman's dream. I hope everybody is taking care of themselves. This energy has been intense. The farther gate, bold step forward. Once again, we got a lot of boldness, and that's pretty befitting. And reconciliation. Okay, this was reversed. So what I am going to do, you guys, is I'm going to read the Shaman's Dream ones, because this is feeling very much so like somebody needs shown some compassion here, but also there's like a feeling here, maybe something, the farther gate. I love this bold step forward. So it might seem like there's something huge happening here. Huge. I'm going to go to 55 and just read this real quick, you guys, for you. The next experience, legacy. Now, we do have legacy in here. Your legacy is, this house 8 is about legacies also. What you want to be remembered for. What you want to leave in the hearts and the imprints of people that you've met and you've exchanged energy with in this lifetime. The biggest footprint or fingerprint you can leave on this earth is your legacy. Evolving, bold step forward, something big here, changing. This Aries energy is changing the world in a big way, but it's like, what do we want to be remembered for? What do we want to be known for? Like, is it money or is it compassion? That's interesting, because that's kind of this two-sided energy I am getting. There's this greed energy where it's like, and then there's this human compassion energy that I think everybody needs to be thinking really about right now. What? It says, when the farther gate card shows up, it is a clear call to lift your eyes to the horizon and begin to walk towards your future. You are marching in place right now, stirring the dust but not getting anywhere. Trust that your forward movement will lead you to a new destination you have already set for yourself, but perhaps forgotten or neglected because of your everyday busyness. That is what I'm kind of getting from this Six of Cups, House 6 and 6 of Cups in Taurus. That there's something here maybe you haven't been doing, that maybe you used to dream of doing or wanting to do, and it's that Neptunian energy, that visionary energy. And maybe you have been getting caught up in your day-to-day habits or whatever, and you're finding that you need to change that to honor something here, honor a bigger transformation that's happening within you, and change the connections and dynamics you are experiencing in your life. The farther gate comes to tell you that an ending is at hand, and that is the Pluto card too, the death card, or the death and transformation, rebirth card. We also got house 8. So there's definitely some stuff happening here, which you're deeply committed to is changing. It says, and that you can leave the old behind. I am feeling that. There's some kind of day-to-day or something you've been deeply committed to, maybe for a long time, that's changing, and you're going to have to step up and change something. Be fearless, be bold, take a step forward or away from that to focus on something new here that you are getting called to focus on. And it's going to bring in the right soul tribe, the right people. Maybe they're already there and you just need to commit to them in a deeper level, or a deeper, there's something way deeper going on here. It says, let it peel away like an old skin you shed. Do not hesitate. Cross the threshold boldly and you will be rewarded. If you continue marking time instead of moving, you will miss the opportunity. The gate is open. The next landscape of your life is within reach. But the next window of time to pass through, it grows shorter. Do not dally. A gift of the farther gate is to bring you to the fullest expression of your gifts, perhaps for the first time. It is an invitation to a sacred passage to new discovery in both great challenges and opportunities. It is not a graduation. There is no rewards other than the exploration itself. You have been a farmer far too long, tilling the hard soil that now bears little fruit for you. Time to put on the explorer hat once again. Yes, so that's very much so the energy that I'm getting with your guys' reading. Like, you've been putting your time, your energy, your care into something that's just, it's been karmic. Like, you paid some kind of repaid, it could be just a karmic debt or a karmic contract or karmic. It's feeling like you've been invested in something for a long time, but you know it's time, like it's done. Like, it's time for a new chapter here. It's time for a new adventure into completely kind of unknown territory here. And I think we're all feeling this in different levels, but it's especially coming out for you guys in your earthly matters. So this could be very physical for you, a change in jobs, a change in what you're putting in your body or where you're putting your body, the things you're investing your physical money, body, mind, energy into. I am getting that. So let's go ahead and read this reconciliation card. Since it was on the bottom, it was reversed. But I was feeling that reconciliation with this 3 of Cups. with the Pluto card is about transforming something, changing something. So, and Aries is about that individual independence, bravery, passion. So passionately changing something or leaving something behind, maybe an old, you know, and this was reversed. So we are going to, it doesn't really give a reverse meaning. So I am going to read it though, because it's called the Wailing Tree. I want to show you this. I did just see that a whole bunch of fires again started in California. And it just, this tree always gives me so much, this card, the image in this card just gives me so much pain of wanting to break out of something and release yourself from something that is not holding. It's not, it almost feels like this tree's on fire and this, like, it's being destructed. It's being destroyed. The home in which you've lived or the place in which you've resided deeply within yourself is changing, and it will no longer be your, you know, encase you in your day-to-day or your thought process. Something here huge is changing, a freedom, a liberation. But it's going to require you to be brave also and kind of step through the fire to get out before you kind of melt into the destruction. You know, this is the image I'm getting, is like you could be in something here, and if you stay there too long, you become the ash of it instead of getting out of it and freeing yourself from something that's already began to transform, change. You know, this isn't always a bad thing. Some things need destructed, transformed, released, free, liberated from. So that is what I'm getting from that. When you encounter the Wailing Tree on your path, it's an invitation to stay a while and regroup, a place for you to rest and allow yourself to grief and mourning, a time of necessary losses, reconciliation with yourself, maybe your true, authentic, highest self. If you've been considering making a change, now is the time to do so. So it says you may have been overdoing things, working too hard or putting too much effort into life with little reward. This is a loud message for you guys. There's something you've been working on and it's getting ready to change. Now, if this hasn't happened, I'm looking by the end of the month with the full moon in Cancer, Jupiter expansion in Cancer, and the Ace of Cups expansion and growth, and the seed, the opportunity to have more compassion, more understanding, be more in alignment with your heart. Is happening for you guys. Something that maybe you've been doing just doesn't feel in alignment with your heart anymore. So to get really Aries energy about whatever it is you're stepping into, or you're, you can feel it's changing, because the High Priestess is here. You can feel something shifting deeply. And you know, there might be scary, but it's going to require you that you be fearless and you take bold action and step forward for rewards and to move into a different energy that's more in alignment with you. All right, that's awesome. I mean, I love that. I love that for you guys. I do. I really love that. Okay, so let's go ahead. We are getting there. Okay, guys, I haven't done readings for a while, so I want to get a. We're gonna get one of these. I always forget the name of this deck, you guys. Oh, here it is. It is the Gratitude Oracle. So we're gonna get a Gratitude Oracle, and we're also going to get a White Light Oracle for you guys, and we'll close it up with a spiral and a quote. Okay, I know I'm gonna try to just go straight to the book, but I haven't done a reading for a while for everybody, so I just like to take my time and get these readings. What we got? Decision. Yes, so some kind of decision here needing to be made, needing to be stepped into, and merriment, joy, fun. Don't forget to have fun and enjoy yourself right now. This does feel very serious. It feels like very big energy happening within your world, your universe, your life. But there is a decision here, an important decision to be made. I'm going to read that real quick. 26. Making decisions is not always easy. At times you may feel paralyzed by the fear. This is coming through big time. Like there's something really deep you need to release or let go of, or change, or express, or commit yourself to, that you're kind of afraid of maybe releasing a commitment that you already feel committed to, or stepping into a new commitment. It could be both. You know, you got to release something to step into something. Jupiter, you have to sacrifice something to gain something. You have to let something go to give something room to grow. That's Jupiter energy. And this could be something in your close relationships, something that feels very, you know, this could be a very tough decision so this is feeling serious, but at the same time it's saying, gosh, there's this joy that Spirit doesn't want you to forget about in life and in a new adventure. And blazing new trails and finding new and unexplored parts of your inner universe and the outer universe. And although it can be scary, it can be really, really rewarding too. And it says, you may feel paralyzed by the fear of making a wrong assessment. You may find you go over your options and make lists instead of falling asleep at night. Not committing to a clear path is also a choice. That was coming through in the bold step forward, not to sit in time, not to sit and wait too long, to take bold action. So if there's some kind of action you need to take to release something, or have that gentle, caring conversation with yourself or another, or to just put up those walls and boundaries in a day-to-day activity or something you're doing every day, to do it, to start today, to say no to that cigarette today, or no to that job today, or no to people pleasing and busying yourself because you have something calling that's deeper and is connecting you to something more in alignment with your heart and more expansive. Grow. It's going to help grow you. All this whole process is about growth and transformation. It says, for help with decision making, you might pretend you are helping a friend with a similar plight to the one you are tackling. So, instead of you needing help, just act like you. What kind of advice would I get this all the time? Like, I give great advice, but taking your own advice is like harder than giving it. Especially if we have a friend, or if we say, oh my gosh, like if that was me, like if that was my friend, I would tell them to leave or quit that job or stop with that relationship or be done with that habit or stop wasting their time on that, or hey, I see something way better and beautifuler in you that you could be doing elsewhere, or expressing, there's a beauty or an art or an expression what would you tell your friend? It says, if you're tackling this kind of problem, what type of question would you ask them? So, what are some of the risks you would counsel them about? Would you suggest your friend go with a safe choice? Or would you say, hey, this is the time to take a risk. This is a time to start something new. What kind of advice could you give your friend? Metaphorically, yourself. This exercise can be helpful as it takes you outside of your emotions. So it isn't a solely emotional, because like I've said this before, emotions are very important. We're very emotional people by nature, but it doesn't mean they can't control things and rule things, especially from like an immature emotional place or an impulsive emotional place. Until we're very mature and understand the root of where those emotions are coming from, it's always good to go through your emotions. When I say in alignment with your heart, I mean it's going to feel like good. It isn't emotional, it just feels good. It feels like it's part of you, it feels like it's in alignment with you, and it just feels right. Emotions are a little different. We can get I do feel, sometimes my emotions get the best of me, and I think that's the case with us as humans. But it says, this exercise could be helpful. I read that. You might also challenge yourself not to replicate the choices of the past. You may be prone to making similar decisions. However, something familiar that worked in the past might not be what is best for you now. We can repeat patterns and choices, even when they do not make us happy or fulfilled. And it's this kind of Six of Cups and this some kind of habit or something you've done in the past, day to day, like maybe an old job, maybe an old, maybe you've been, there's just some kind of habit or routine or something you've always done that just, you may be needing to step away from that pattern or that behavior or that place or that person or that situation and not go back to it, not fall back into the same dynamics. And I was getting that with the Three of Cups, this dynamics. Spirit's trying to change your dynamics by changing your perspective and your investment in those dynamics. And it will involve you needing to really realize, like, how am I feeling about this? How is this helping grow me or expand me? Or is this just taking my energy and my time and my nurturing away from things that I value and that are more in alignment for me now? So that's a good question to ask yourself. It says, we can repeat patterns and choices even when they do not make us happy or fulfilled. Try pushing yourself outside your comfort zone and choose something completely different. If you are choosing between two options you are familiar with, add a third possibility to widen your options. Don't believe that you have no alternatives. There are plenty of options. The final decision is yours to make. I think this is going to be playing out this month, I haven't been doing a lot of readings, so I always say this reading until the next one, guys. I don't care if it's 2 months, I don't care if it's a month, I don't care if it's 2 weeks. I get called to do these readings at certain times, and I believe this energy is good throughout for whoever. Everybody could just be in a different part of this, or it may not even be your reading, but if it is, now is going to be a huge time for you. This, I believe, this next month especially. Whenever you're watching this, for just this next month. But I do want to point out that this Cancer energy, this Jupiter energy, this full moon energy coming up and all this Aries energy that's really changing the part of the Aries in our chart, our life. It can feel very subtle, almost like, but you just know, like, something's just not in alignment. Something's just not, or something's just done. That contract's just done. That commitment is just done. It's time to start something fresh and new. It's time to look at something fresh and new again. Yeah, there's something big here happening for you guys. It's exciting. I am feeling like the nerves in my stomach and the pit of my stomach, and it's not like, but I will say, like, it's not like that bad. It is a gut feeling, but it's more because it isn't in alignment with what you usually would do. So when we get that gut feeling, it's like usually because we've done something or said something that isn't in alignment with our soul, with our spiritual mission or our soul mission. So it makes us feel yucky. So just feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't want to make the wrong decision, or I don't want to say the wrong thing. That's giving you a lot of anxiety. But once you settle on what is alignment with what you know about yourself, you're going to feel that. Like, okay, so a little quick example. So say this has happened before, and it took me a long time to understand this. I'd be like, oh my God, I got a sick feeling, because I would, say you attack somebody, like you say, oh my gosh, like you're lying to me or whatever, and like you start a fight with somebody over something, and then you feel sick about it, like sick about the fight, sick about what was said, sick, and then you're like, oh my God, this sick feeling won't go away. I know something's wrong. Yeah, something is wrong. Usually it's that you're not in alignment with your true energy. So if you weren't compassionate, or you said something kind of mean to somebody, it'll give you a sick feeling. It's not them giving you that sick feeling. It's you going against your brain that's giving you that sick feeling. So if a decision needs to be made, or you want to make a decision, make the decision, and it will. And if it doesn't feel right after you've made that decision, then it's going against your natural energy, and it's probably pick the other decision, or give yourself a third option. I'm going to pass up this opportunity. Now that could be risky, depending on, I think everybody ends up where they're supposed to end up anyway, but it is saying this is a time, there is time to this, and that is that Saturn energy. There's always like time and restriction, and something's here happening in an amount of time. You may have to embrace something or release something in what feels like a short amount of time, but you've had like a long time to work through these energies. It's just maybe feeling like it's coming to an end, but just, you'll feel that alignment when it's right. You won't have that sick feeling. You won't have that anxiety. You'll just know, hey, I made the right decision. Like, I'm making the right decision. That's another message. This final decision is yours to make. Do so with gratitude, knowing there is so much more there for you. I do love that. I love that. We are going to go ahead and get one of these white light oracles. Okay. Yeah, these are always a little longer when I was doing them more regularly, they were shorter, but it's just when I haven't been doing them, it's just like, man, I want to give you guys as much confirmation or insight or reflection as possible when we pull these cards. Stuff for you to be thinking about. We got the magnetism of arrows. I will read that. It is a number 1. That's cool. Okay. Aries rules the first house, you guys. Yeah, where is it? Okay, here we go. Trust in what your heart yearns for, without concern about how it will manifest. Take steps towards that which moves your heart. We got compassion here. There's some kind of caring, some kind of opportunity to care about something or be compassionate about something coming in or has came in, and now you're on a different path that's more in alignment for you, but it may you may need to release some old structures or relationships or daily habits or something to make this to be more committed to this transformation or this change in your life. Take steps towards that which moves your heart. Reach out for what your soul wants and needs. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, for only then can you be truly held. Now that is coming through strong with this Cancer energy. Like, there's something here you may need to just be vulnerable with yourself about and be like, yeah, this is why I need this change. Or that you may have to have this conversation with somebody, or you may need to be bold and fearless in your choices, your conversation, and your action. That which appears out of reach or unavailable to you is closer than you realize. The farther gate. That is that feeling of that it feels way off, and it feels like, oh, but it's right there. Like you're right in a decision point right now of getting through this thing that you think, oh, that's, if that happens, it's way out there, but it's right there. It's just, ooh, being in alignment. The magnetism of arrows is our soul's fascination with that which appears different and calls to us on a deep level. This soul deep attraction inspires us to remain open, be passionate, and willing to engage with life, other people, and new vitalizing pathways and practices that inspire us. It keeps us moving on our authentic life path, living by the call of the heart. This oracle indicates that your heart is being called to a particular path or way in life, a way in life. That's kind of what I'm feeling, the way in life. This house 6, changing a way in life, a way you're in life. It says, it may not make logical sense, but to honor the call of the heart is to honor the needs of the soul. The call of the heart can lead you into unknown and intriguing territory. It can feel liberating, but also unsettling as you let go of known worlds and reach for the unfamiliar. Following such a path will bring a fresh influx of energy and expand your understanding of yourself, your life path, and your higher purpose. It is meant to be. There is so much expansion here, so much growth, and this is a very huge transformational time for you, and it's going to bring you closer to alignment with your highest nature, with your soul purpose. I love that. Let me read it says, on a spiritual level, Eros is our passionate, open, engaged love for life. When we experience Eros, we are ready to embrace our journey. It is an affirmation of life. Its opposite is a destructive drive known as Thanatos, which is the drive behind our undermining, self-defeating, and self-harming behaviors. That could very much have to do with changing something here in your life that may be undermining your goals or who you truly are, or the things you want to move to or create in your life. Daily habits, maybe a job that's just not serving you, or a habit that's absolutely not, you need to boldly step through, or a codependent relationship or something like that, where there is a lot going on in this energy. And this is a general message, but this is something huge. And it says, so that Thanatos, which is the drive behind our undermining, it's the energy, you guys, self-defeating and self-harming behaviors. We may engage in such negative behaviors in a misguided attempt to heal ourselves or make ourselves feel better. I was feeling that at the beginning about like the escapism or putting more of our energy into something else rather than ourselves, because we don't want to go deeper and deeper into like why we're choosing to keep doing this job or why we're choosing to keep tolerating this. We're going to have to go in and do that really deep shadow work, you guys, and just dig in those wounds and say, you know what, I know why. I know I'm acting from a place of a wounded place within me, and I'm not going to choose to act from that wounded place within me anymore. That's a really empowering energy to hold on to when you're going through huge releasing of old, like especially karmic stuff or old energies that just have been hanging on and you've been hanging on to. I can't stress that enough. It says, until that story is heard, we cannot, when we act negatively, despite our best intentions to be positive, part of us is trying to tell a story that is yet to be fully heard. Until that story is heard, we cannot let it go. We get stuck in a negative loop, and that's what I was just talking about. We have to go deep, go dig, and express that. Have that conversation with ourselves or another or both, and say, this is where I've been coming from, and it's not healthy for me. It's toxic, and I'm moving on from this energy. Closing the door, there's, to this, and I'm recreating something here in my life within myself and the way I'm connected to it, how deeply I'm connected to, and why am I connected to that? That is beautiful, you guys. I love that. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy for your guys' reading. Let's go ahead and get a spiral oracle. There we go. And we got the open channel card. Okay, this card has been coming out a lot. It seems like I've seen this card more in the last 3-4 months than in a long time. Everybody's like, there's just this opening happening. Open channel. Life is fresh and new at every moment. I will hold it up. Life is fresh and new at every moment. As a mountain bird, I learn to read the changing winds. I embrace the challenge of the unexpected. At times, I get lost in an ocean of complexities without being able to take even the smallest step. Yet when I flow without needing anything or anyone, it becomes absolutely natural for me to drive my inner vehicle. I am a deep being, and the environment which surrounds me pierces me like a spear. I observe it, and I realize that it is made of light. I am able to look beyond the illusionary scenario of the present moment. Today I am certain that the story I have not yet created is about to be born. This moment is an opportunity. With deep love, I rewrite myself. We all can rewrite ourselves. The key word for this card is creation. Very Aries energy here. Creation, you know, it's the beginning of the zodiac. It's the creative beginning force, Aries. It says, when I embrace my creative power, I am filled with strength. My creativity has always been ready to improvise and provide solutions in the most diverse circumstances of life. I make my mind flexible. I give permission to deep impulses and to the expression of my essence. An inner call invites me to create my own destiny through new ideas, perceptions, and feelings. Today, my creative potential is the answer. It is the key that opens the door to the great uplifting of humanity. I love that. Let's go ahead and get a quote. I love this. I love this reading. It's very powerful. My decision card. Very big decision here for whoever this is resonating with. Let's just get a little quote here and see. Here we go. Oh, Albert Einstein. Okay, let's see. I lived in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in maturity. I love that. That aloneness or loneliness, solitude. When you're young, you're calling everybody, go come keep me company, because you can't stand to be with your own thoughts and your own depth, and you just avoid, busy yourself, distract yourself from the deeper searching and seeking that needs to happen within. But it's delicious in maturity. We need that time for ourselves to go deep and get with those parts of ourselves that we spend time distracting ourselves from. It helps us feel more in alignment, be in more alignment, live in more alignment, and act in the world as we are in alignment with our divine energy. So I love that, Albert Einstein. I love that. Okay, I lived in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in maturity. Albert Einstein. Nice, you guys. Well, thank you guys for coming and listening to your reading. I appreciate you guys. I hope everybody is taking care of themselves and listening to their deeper inner knowings and being in alignment, not getting wrapped up in old beliefs or old patterns of thinking or old groups of people that no longer resonate, or, you know, but staying compassionate and true towards your own heart, your own feelings, your own love for life and the things in it and the things happening. I love it, you guys. You guys have a really, really nice reading. Really, really big things trying to open up here for you guys. I did, you know, I do want to get a surrender card real quick just to see what kind of, I usually do try to pull a surrender card at the end. This has just been a little longer of a reading because I wanted to start out with the astrology cards, which is kind of something new I'm going to be trying to, at least this round of readings, work with. Surrender to play. And this came in also on the bottom of the gratitude deck, to remember to take a break from overthinking or over busying or overdoing yourself, over investing your energy into other things, and take that time for yourself. Take that time, as Albert Einstein said, it's delicious in maturity. Take a break from overthinking a goal, do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. So maybe before, just take a short bit of time here for yourself to rejuvenate, recuperate your energy. If you've been in a long, you know, dynamic that's just drained you, before you start making those big, bold, brave steps forward in something that you're being called and that's feeling good at. So, all right, Aries. Appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves, nurture yourselves, love yourselves. Stay centered and grounded in your knowing of what is true to you, your heart, and your feelings. Try not to let the ego take you away from what you know you are and who you know you are and what is right in your heart. Right now, very, very, very intense, difficult times for people in general. But yeah, so just take care of yourselves, you guys. Stay aligned. Stay aligned with, take that extra time for yourself to align and get deeper with, like, why are you still trying to align with something that's no longer in alignment with you, or no longer, it doesn't resonate with you. You know, it's time for us to leave those things that no longer resonate with who we are or what we envision or what we want to be a part of behind, and become the energy we are a part of and we want to be a part of and we want to feed. Our energy is currency in this universe, and it counts for everything. So keep that in mind as you're moving through this energy, Aries. Everybody's dealing with this energy. It just depends on where and how many other aspects or planets you also have interacting with this energy. But it's pretty intense energy, you guys, I must say. But of course, it's like I said, that's Aries energies in my 8th house, and I'm getting a Neptune Saturn transit through my 8th house, so it's very, very deep. It's very, very, you know. So yeah, we're gonna just keep on going through this energy. We got Neptune's like a 12 to 14 year transit. Uranus is like, or not Uranus, Saturn's 2.5 years. So it's gonna be a really interesting time this next couple of years for everybody in the section that it is. So thank you again for coming, you guys. I do appreciate your patience. I appreciate your compassion, just your humanity. I appreciate that about anybody who subscribes, has just stopped and listened to my messages here. I just cannot stress enough how important it is for us to honor this part of ourselves, this human part of ourselves that speaks and feels and expresses and tries to grow and learn and teach each other as we walk through this life together and this existence. So thank you again, you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate the Aries energy. I didn't always, I have to say, because I saw a lot of shadow Aries energy in my life. But there's a lot of great things Aries energy has to give and bring, and it can fight for good things in a good way and be assertive and determined. And it's a powerful energy, you guys. So use that energy wisely, spiritually, and in alignment with your heart. Thank you, Aries. Thank you for everything. And I hope you guys have a great day. And as always, I will talk to you later.